This session is being recorded, and this is Sir Siva Rahman. And in today's session, we are focusing on IELTS listening part 1. आज भी सर आपको गाइड कर रहे हैं. पहले सर गाइड करेंगे, फिर आप लोग सुनेंगे और अपने जवाबात मार्क करेंगे. ठीक है, जबरदस्त. अच्छा, गाइडलाइन देखिएगा. गो टू लोकेशन है, आपको कोई ना कोई लोकेशन मिल रही है. मैनेजमेंट ऑफ किसी चीज की मैनेजमेंट है. अटेंशन टू. अच्छा, ये जो प्रेपोजिशन है ना, ये देखो आज तुम्हारे कितने काम आएंगे. ये प्रेपोजिशन बोले जाएंगे. अटेंशन टू. नीड अ मिनिमम ऑफ डैश ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. ऑब्वियसली अब आप एक बात समझ रहे होंगे, सर यहाँ पर लाजमी तौर पर कोई ना कोई हमें जो है वो क्या लिखना है, कोई ना कोई ईयर लिखना है. जैसे 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, समथिंग लाइक दैट. ठीक है, आगे चलिए. उसके बाद देखिए, ऊपर देखिएगा. ऊपर मैनेजिंग, स्टॉक मैनेजमेंट बोलेगा. मैनेजिंग व्हाट? मैनेजिंग समथिंग. वेरी ऑर्गेनाइज. एडजेक्टिव्स लिखने. ऑर्गेनाइज इज एडजेक्टिव, तो अगला भी एडजेक्टिव आएगा. यहां लिखा है वर्किंग इन अ. इन आ, ये याद रखो, जब प्रपोजिशन और साथ में क्या आ जाए, जब प्रपोजिशन और साथ में आर्टिकल आ जाए तो वो बदलते नहीं है. ये 90% ऐसा देखा गया है. 90% ऐसा देखा गया है कि वो नहीं बदलते. 90% बता दिया मैंने. 90% इट हैपेंस. आ गई बात समझ. उसके बाद कहता है एबल टू कोप अप विद आइटम्स दैट आर, कोई एडजेक्टिव आ रहा है. और कहता है डैश सर्विस. नीड एक्सपीरियंस डैश सर्विस. कौन सी सर्विस? अब मैंने ये थोड़ा सा आपको एक्सप्लेन किया. नाउ यू आर लिसनिंग. 10 out of 10 आने चाहिए आपके. लिसन.
The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test,
सब पता है. आगे चलो.
We will quite a careful look at it, and I think we have 2 jobs that might be suitable for you.
Okay.
The first one is in a company based in North London. They're looking for an administrative assistant.
Okay. What sort of company is it?
They're called Home Solutions, and they design and make furniture.
Oh, I don't know much about that.
अच्छा, अब उन्होंने कहा that design and make, वहां लिखा हुआ है प्रोड्यूस. तो आपका जवाब आपके पेपर पर आ चुका होगा. ठीक है.
But it sounds interesting.
Yes, well, as I said, they want someone in their office, and looking at your past experience, it does look as if you fit quite a few of the requirements. So on your CV, it appears you've done some data entry.
Yes.
So that's one skill they want. Then they expect the person they appoint to attend meetings and take notes there.
Okay. I've done that before, yes.
And you need to be able to cope with general admin.
Filing and keeping records and so on. But that should be okay. And in my last job, I also had to manage the diary.
Excellent. That's something they want here too. I'd suggest you add it to your CV. I don't think you mentioned that, did you?
No.
So, as far as the requirements go, they want good computer skills, of course, and they particularly mention spreadsheets.
That should be fine.
And interpersonal skills, which would be something they check with your references.
I think that should be okay, yes.
Then they mention that they want someone who is careful and takes care with details. Just looking at your CV, I'd say you're probably all right there.
I think so, yes. Do they want any special experience?
I think they wanted some experience of teleconferencing.
Oh, I've got 3 years experience of that.
Let's see. Yes, good. In fact, they're only asking for at least 1 year, so that's great. So is that something that might interest you?
It is, yes. The only thing is, you said they were in North London, so it would be quite a long commute for me.
Okay.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
अब मैनेजिंग व्हाट ऑर्गेनाइज एडजेक्टिव है, मैंने बताया आपको कोई ना
Now
कोई
listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
ऑर्गेनाइज एडजेक्टिव है। इन आ आपको सुनाई दिया जाएगा, आर के बाद फिर एडजेक्टिव आने वाला है, और कौन सी सर्विस।
So the second position might suit you better as far as the location goes. And that's for a warehouse assistant, and that's in South London.
Yes, that would be a lot closer.
And you've worked in a warehouse before, haven't you?
Yes.
So as far as the responsibilities for this position go, they want someone who can manage the stock, obviously, and also deliveries.
That should be okay. You've got to keep track of stuff, but I've always been quite good with numbers.
Good. That's their first requirement. And they want someone who's computer literate, which we know you are.
Sure.
And then they mention organizational skills. They want someone who's well organized.
Yes, I think I am.
And tidy?
Yes, they go together really, don't they?
Sure. Then the usual stuff. They want someone who can communicate well, both orally and in writing.
Okay. And for the last warehouse job I had, one of the things I enjoyed most was being part of a team. I found that was really essential for the job.
Excellent. Yes, they do mention that they want someone who's used to that, yes. Now, when you were working in a warehouse last time, what sorts of items were you dealing with?
It was mostly bathroom and kitchen equipment, sinks and stoves and fridges.
So you're okay moving heavy things?
Sure, I'm quite strong and I've had the training.
Good. Now, as far as experience goes, they mention they want someone with a license and that you have experience of driving in London, so you can cope with the traffic and so on.
Yes, no problem.
And you've got experience of warehouse work. And the final thing they mention is customer service. I think looking at your CV, you're okay there.
Right. So what about pay? Can you tell me a bit more about that, please?
That is the end of part 1.
स्कोर प्लीज, 10 out of 10 कितने लोगों के आ गए? Ten, Terim, very good. Fiza, very good. Zabardast, 10, 10, 10, 10, 8. Sana, Zabardast, good. That's very good. चलें, आगे चलते हैं, एक और टेस्ट देखते हैं।
You will have to.
अच्छा, इसके अंदर मेरी गाइडलाइन नहीं आ रही है, खुद देखो और खुद समझो, ठीक है? बहुत आसान है, जितनी बातें बताएंगे, देखो ऑक्यूपेशन भी है, रीजन भी है, नेम ऑफ स्टेशन भी है, टिकट स्टैंडर्ड डैश टिकट भी है, अमाउंट बताना है आपको, अमाउंट बताने के बाद आपको वेयर टिकट लोकेशन बतानी है, लीस्ट सेटिस्फाइड विद द डैश दिस मॉर्निंग, हाउ मच डैश, I got confused with meetings and meetings. So following a structure sense, I use meetings. I wrote meeting. अगर S और ES की मिस्टेक होती है तो कभी कभार आपकी मिस्टेक को कंसीडर कर लिया जाता है, मार्क्स मिल जाते हैं। S और ES की गलती को इग्नोर कर देता है, ठीक है? Neither satisfied the dash available, least satisfied with lack of seats particularly. ये थोड़ा सा ना कंफ्यूजिंग पार्ट होगा, सेटिस्फैक्शन और सेटिस्फैक्शन विद स्टेशन फैसिलिटीज, बहुत गौर से सुनिएगा। चलें,
answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to part 1. Part 1. You will hear a representative from a train company talking to a woman about her train journey. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hello, do you mind if I ask you some questions about your journey today? We're doing a customer satisfaction survey.
Yes, okay. I've got about 10 minutes before my train home leaves. I'm on a day trip.
Great, thank you. So, first of all, could you tell me your name?
It's Sophie Bird.
Thank you. And would you mind telling me what you do?
I'm a journalist.
Oh, really? That must be interesting.
Yes, it is.
So, was the reason for your visit here today work?
Actually, it's my day off. I came here to do some shopping,
Oh, right.
but I do sometimes come here for work.
Okay. Now, I'd like to ask some questions about your journey today, if that's okay.
Yes, no problem.
Right. So, can you tell me which station you're travelling back to?
Stormforth, where I live.
Can I just check the spelling? Staunfirth?
That's right.
And you travelled from there this morning?
Yes.
Okay, good. Next, can I ask what kind of ticket you bought? I assume it wasn't a season ticket, as you don't travel every day.
That's right. No, I just got a normal return ticket. I don't have a rail card, so I don't get any discount. I keep meaning to get one because it's a lot cheaper.
Yes, you'd have saved 20% on your ticket today.
Oh,
So you paid the full price for your ticket?
I paid £23.70.
Okay. Do you think that's good value for money?
Not really. I think it's too much for a journey that only takes 45 minutes.
Yes, that's one of the main complaints we get. So you didn't buy your ticket in advance?
No. I know it's cheaper if you buy a week in advance, but I didn't know I was coming then.
I know. You can't always plan ahead. So, did you buy it this morning?
No, it was yesterday.
Right. And do you usually buy your tickets at the station?
Well, I do usually, but the ticket office closes early, and I hate using ticket machines. I think ticket offices should be open for longer hours. There's always a queue for the machines, and they're often out of order.
A lot of customers are saying the same thing.
So, to answer your question, I got an e-ticket online.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Okay, thank you. Now, I'd like to ask you about your satisfaction with your journey. So what would you say you were most satisfied with today?
Well, I like the Wi-Fi on the train. It's improved a lot. It makes it easier for me to work if I want to.
That's the first time today anyone's mentioned that. It's good to get some positive feedback on that.
Mm.
And is there anything you weren't satisfied with?
Well, normally the trains run on time and are pretty reliable, but today there was a delay. The train was about 15 minutes behind schedule.
Okay, I'll put that down. Now, I'd also like to ask about the facilities of the station. You've probably noticed that the whole station's been upgraded. What are you most satisfied with?
I think the best thing is that they've improved the amount of information about train times, etc., that's given to passengers. It's much clearer. Before, there was only one board and I couldn't always see it properly, which was frustrating.
That's good. And is there anything you're not satisfied with?
Let's see. I think things have generally improved a lot. The trains are much more modern and I like the new cafe. But one thing is that there aren't enough places to sit down, especially on the platforms.
Okay, so I'll put seating down, shall I, as the thing you're least satisfied with?
Yes, okay.
Can I ask your opinion about some of the other facilities? We'd like feedback on whether people are satisfied, dissatisfied, or neither satisfied nor dissatisfied.
Okay.
What about the parking at the station?
Well, to be honest, I don't really have an opinion, as I never use it.
So neither satisfied nor dissatisfied for that then?
Yes, I suppose so.
Okay, and what about...
That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1.
Check your answers. अच्छा, Tehreem कहती है in previous part they said only one word or a number, but a year. याद रखें जब आप ये लिख रहे हैं ना a year, 1 year, तो इसको एक ही कंसीडर किया जाए, ठीक है ना? क्योंकि 9 तो लिख नहीं सकते हम, तो जब ईयर लिखना है तो हमको लिखना पड़ेगा 9 years, 1 year, 2 year, ये इसको 1 word कंसीडर किया जाएगा। ये आप अपने प्रैक्टिस से आपको खुद बात समझ आ जाएगी कि इसको 1 word कंसीडर किया जा रहा है। ठीक है बेटा, चलें अब आ जाए। आपने बुक 15 निपटा दिया। अब मैं जा रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं अगले आप प्रिपरेशन सेशन में आएंगे तो मैं 16 पर होगा। मैं 15 से पीछे जा रहा हूँ, मैं 14 पे जा रहा हूँ, ठीक है ना? 14 पे देखते हैं कोई खतरनाक चीज हो तो उसको मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ।
You hear?
अच्छा, अब देखिए, अब 14 के अंदर जब आप बुक 14 को फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो याद रखें बुक 14 के अंदर अब आपके पास ये थोड़ा सा पुराना फॉर्मेट है। इसमें आपको ये देखिए कि आपको एक एग्जाम्पल भी नजर आ रही होगी, लेकिन याद रखिएगा अब आपके पेपर के अंदर एग्जाम्पल्स नहीं आती है। अब आपके पेपर के अंदर एग्जाम्पल नहीं आती, वो डायरेक्ट स्टार्ट होगा। इसमें देखें आपसे नेशनैलिटी पूछी जा रही है, ठीक है, नेशनैलिटी। उसके बाद आपसे कहा जा रहा है रीजन फॉर विजिट। यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है बाय, तो कभी भी वो डिट्टो वो वर्ड नहीं बोलेगा, ना वो बाय बोलेगा ना वो एंटीक बोलेगा। बताओ बाय की जगह पर दूसरा वर्ड तुम्हारे दिमाग में कौन सा आ रहा है? बाय की जगह तुम्हारे जहन में दूसरा वर्ड कौन सा आ रहा है? कोई आ रहा है दिमाग में वर्ड? वेरी गुड, परचेज। अच्छा, एंटीक किसे कहते हो तुम लोग? जो चीजें पुरानी हो जाती है उसको तुम लोग एंटीक कहते हो। तो एंटीक की जगह पर ओल्ड। तो याद रखो तुम्हें अपने सिनोनिम्स को इम्प्रूव करना है। जो सिनोनिम्स होते हैं ना वो आपके इम्प्रूव होने चाहिए क्योंकि सिनोनिम्स का गेम है। आगे चलिए, उसके बाद कहते हैं करंट एड्रेस। वो आपको एड्रेस बताएगा, आप अपार्टमेंट का नाम। कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि अपार्टमेंट की स्पेलिंग ना बताए, वरना जनरली ऐसा ही देखा गया है कि आपको अपार्टमेंट की स्पेलिंग बताई जाती है, ठीक है ना? अपार्टमेंट की स्पेलिंग आपको बताई जाएगी, तो आप लोग अपार्टमेंट की स्पेलिंग देखेंगे। उसके बाद अमाउंट बताना है। आप उसका वॉलेट चोरी हो गया है, उसमें कितना अमाउंट था और क्या था, तारीख बतानी है, डेट बतानी है, लोकेशन बतानी है। सम बॉय आस्क्ड फॉर द, उस लड़के ने क्या पूछा था? लड़के ने पूछा क्या था, तो वो आपको बताना है कि लड़के ने पूछा क्या। ठीक है। और उसके बाद देखिए, फिर वो कहता है वॉज ही वॉज अबाउट 12, बिल्ड विद डैश हेयर, बालों का कलर, उसके बालों का कलर क्या था आपको ये भी बताना है। आ गई बात समझ। और आखिर में रेफरेंस नंबर एलोकेटेड, 10 में से 10 आने वाले हैं इंशाल्लाह। ठीक है, लेट्स स्टार्ट।
There will be time for you to read the instructions and it's been done for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Right, so 1 to 3. Good morning. What can I do for you?
I want to report a theft. I had some things stolen out of my bag yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that. Right, so I'll need to take a few details. Can I start with your name?
Louise Taylor.
Okay, thank you. And are you resident in the UK?
No, I'm actually Canadian, though my mother was British.
And your date of birth?
December 14th, 1977.
So you're just visiting this country?
That's right. I come over most summers on business. I'm an interior designer, and I come over to buy old furniture, antiques, you know? There are some really lovely things around here, but you need to get out to the small towns. I've had a really good trip this year, until this happened.
Okay. So you've been here quite a while?
Yes, I'm here for 2 months. I go back next week.
So may I ask where you're staying now?
Well, at present, I've got a place at Park Apartments that's on King Street. I was staying at the Riverside Apartments on the same street, but the apartment there was only available for 6 weeks, so I had to find another one.
Okay. And the apartment number?
15.
Right. Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 4 to 10.
फोर में क्या लिखना है, अमाउंट लिखना है, और उसमें और क्या था, डेट लिखनी है। आउटसाइड द डैश एट अबाउट 4 PM, लोकेशन पे लिखिएगा। आज क्या पूछा उसने, और उसके बालों का कलर क्या था, आखिर में रेफरेंस नंबर वो बोलेगा, लाजमी लिखिएगा।
Now listen and answer questions 4 to 10. Now, I need to take some details of the theft. So you said you had some things stolen out of your bag?
That's right.
And were you actually carrying the bag when the theft took place?
Yes, I really can't understand it. I had my backpack on, and I went into a supermarket to buy a few things, and when I opened it up, my wallet wasn't there.
And what did your wallet have in it?
Well, fortunately, I don't keep my credit cards in that wallet. I keep them with my passport in an inside compartment in my backpack, but there was quite a bit of cash there. About 250 pounds sterling, I should think. I withdrew 300 pounds from my account yesterday, but I did a bit of shopping, so I must have already spent about 50 pounds of that.
Okay.
At first I thought, oh, I must have left the wallet back in the apartment. But then I realized my phone had gone as well. It was only a week old, and that's when I realized I'd been robbed. Anyway, at least they didn't take the keys to my rental car.
Yes. So you say the theft occurred yesterday?
Yes.
So that was September the 10th? And do you have any idea at all of where or when the things might possibly have been stolen?
Well, at first I couldn't believe it because the bag had been on my back ever since I left the apartment after lunch. It's just a small backpack, but I generally use it when I'm traveling because it seems safer than a handbag. Anyway, I met up with a friend and we spent a couple of hours in the museum. But I do remember that as we were leaving there at about 4 o'clock, A group of young boys ran up to us, and they were really crowding round us, and they were asking us what time it was. Then all of a sudden, they ran off.
Can you remember anything about them?
The one who did most of the talking was wearing a t-shirt with a picture of something. Let's see. A tiger.
Right. Any idea of how old he might have been?
Around 12 years old?
And can you remember anything else about his appearance?
Not much. He was quite thin.
Color of hair?
I do remember that. He was blonde. All the others were dark-haired.
And any details of the others?
Not really. They came and went so quickly.
Right. So what I'm going to do now is give you a crime reference number so you can contact your insurance company. So this is 10 digits. 87954-82361.
Thank you. So, should I?
That is the end.
हाँ भाई 10 out of 10. Ten, Hansa, Hansha, Pizza 10, Sana 10, Anusha 7, Sana 9. Dark hair, blonde hair था बेटा, blonde hair, blonde hair. चले आ रहे ना दूसरे दिन में पहुंच गए आप लोग 10 नंबर पे. सिर्फ अब आपको क्या करना है. अच्छा आपने सितंबर 10 लिखा और यहाँ क्या लिखा हुआ है 10 सितंबर चलेगा. सितंबर 10. लेकिन कोशिश करें कि जो डेट का फॉर्मेट ये लिख रहे हैं आपको यही लिखना है. 10 सितंबर डेट का फॉर्मेट याद कर ले कि पहले डेट लिखे और उसके बाद महीना लिखते हैं. ठीक है ना. प्रैक्टिस से यही चीजें सीखते हैं हम लोग कि हमें लिखना क्या चाहिए. सितंबर 10 या 10 सितंबर. चले आगे. अच्छा अब याद देखिए कॉन्टेक्ट नंबर, डेट ऑफ बर्थ, ऑक्यूपेशन, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का नाम, व्हेन इट बिगेन, कितने दिन पहले आपको ये दर्द शुरू हुआ था, मसला क्या है इनको, दिल में इनको दर्द हो रहा है, बिलोंग टू अ डैश क्लब, क्लब का नाम, गोज डैश रेगुलरली, कहाँ ये रेगुलरली ये जाती हैं, कहाँ पर जाती हैं ये आपको बताना है. और उसके बाद इंजर्ड हर, इनको कहाँ पर चोट लगी थी. नो रेगुलर मेडिकेशन अपार्ट फ्रॉम, बस ये एक गोली खाती है सर दर्द की, क्या कौन सी देखिएगा. चलिए बहुत आसान है ये भी. पार्ट 1 आसान है, पार्ट 4 आसान है, ये मैंने आपको बता दिया है. आप 3 दिन की प्रैक्टिस कर ले मेरे साथ. आप जो है वो 10 आउट ऑफ 10 पर आ जाएंगे. लेकिन बेटा पूरे 28 टेस्ट की प्रैक्टिस करनी है. 28 टेस्ट. अभी बुक 15 हुई है, 4 टेस्ट हो गए हमारे साथ, ये आपका छठा है. 11 बजे तक देखते हैं कितने होते हैं और उसके बाद फिर आप लोग कल मेरे साथ 4 टेस्ट कर लेंगे. हो गए मेरे साथ 12 टेस्ट, 12 आपका असाइनमेंट. ठीक है ना, अगले 3 दिन का. और कुछ बच्चे तो शुरू कर चुके होंगे. आप लोगों को मैं एडवाइस करता हूँ आप बुक 11 से उठा लीजिए. ठीक है, कल मैं 13 करवाऊंगा, 11 और 12 आप लोग कर लीजिएगा. 16 और 17 भी आप लोग कर लें, लिख लें अपने पास. 11, 12, 16 और 17 आपको करनी है. कल मैं 13 करवा दूंगा.
There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. As to help me give you the best possible service. All right, come and take a seat.
Thank you.
अच्छा ये मुझे याद आ गया, ये बहुत तेज बोलेगा. ये बहुत तेज बोलेगा, जरा गौर से सुनना।
My name's Carl Rogers, and I'm one of the doctors here at the Total Health Clinic. So I understand this is your first visit to the clinic.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I hope you'll be very happy with the service you receive here. So if it's all right with you, I'll take a few details to help me give you the best possible service.
Sure.
So can I check, first of all, that we have the correct personal details for you? So your full name is Julie Ann Garcia.
That's correct.
The woman's name is Julie Ann Garcia. So Garcia has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Hi, come and take a seat.
Thank you.
My name's Carl Rogers. And I'm one of the doctors here at the Total Health Clinic. So I understand this is your first visit to the clinic.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I hope you'll be very happy with the service you receive here. So if it's all right with you, I'll take a few details to help me give you the best possible service.
Sure.
So can I check, first of all, that we have the correct personal details for you? So your full name is Julie Ann Garcia.
That's correct.
Perfect. And can I have a contact phone number?
It's 219-442-9785.
Okay, and then can I just check that we have the correct date of birth?
October 10th, 1992.
Oh, I actually have 1991. I'll just correct that now. Right, so that's all good. Now I just need a few more personal details. Do you have an occupation, either full-time or part-time?
Yes, I work full-time in Esterhazy's, you know, the restaurant chain. I started off as a waitress there a few years ago, and I'm a manager now.
Oh, I know them. Yeah, they're down on 114th Street, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I just love their salads.
That's good to hear.
Right, so one more thing I need to know before we talk about why you're here, Julie, and that's the name of your insurance company.
It's Cawley Life Insurance. That's Cawley.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
Now, Julie, let's look at how we can help you. So tell me a little about what brought you here today.
Well, I've been getting a pain in my knee, the left one. Not very serious at first, but it's gotten worse. So I thought I ought to see someone about it.
That's certainly the right decision. So how long have you been aware of this pain? Is it just a few days, or is it longer than that?
Longer. It's been worse for the last couple of days, but it's 3 weeks since I first noticed it. It came on quite gradually, though, so I kind of ignored it at first.
And have you taken any medication yourself or treated it in any way?
Yeah, I've been taking medication to deal with the pain, Tylenol, and that works okay for a few hours, but I don't like to keep taking it.
Okay. And what about heat treatment? Have you tried applying heat at all?
No, but I have been using ice on it for the last few days.
And does that seem to help the pain at all?
A little, yes.
Good. Now, you look as if you're quite fit normally.
I am, yes.
So do you do any sport on a regular basis?
Yes, I play a lot of tennis. I belong to a club, so I go there a lot. I'm quite competitive, so I enjoy that side of it as well as the exercise, but I haven't gone since this started.
Sure. And do you do any other types of exercise?
Yeah, I sometimes do a little swimming, but usually just when I'm on vacation. But normally I go running a few times a week, maybe 3 or 4 times.
So your legs are getting quite a pounding. but you haven't had any problems up to now.
No, not with my legs. I did have an accident last year when I slipped and hurt my shoulder, but that's better now.
Excellent. And do you have any allergies?
No, none that I'm aware of.
And do you take any medication on a regular basis?
Well, I take vitamins, but that's all. I'm generally very healthy.
Okay. Well, let's have a closer look and see what might be causing this problem. If you can just get up.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
हाँ भाई, score. Score, please. 10. Pizza 9, Khansa 10. Ikra 10, Hunsha 10. Turkish 10. भाई ये तो क्लास बड़ी सही रही है, माशाल्लाह. कोई 4 वाला भी तो आए ना यार, लगे भी तो मेहनत भी तो करनी पड़े. यहाँ तो सारे बच्चे सही चल रहे. पढ़ाई किसको, सारे ही सही है. चले भाई, आगे चलते हैं.
Here are a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Section 1. You will hear a man phoning the customer services manager of a hotel to get information about holding a conference there. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, Flanders Conference Hotel.
Oh, hi. I wanted to ask about conference facilities at the hotel. Have I come through to the right person?
You have. I'm the customer services manager. My name's Angela.
The name of the customer services manager is Angela. So Angela has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hello, Flanders Conference Hotel.
Oh, hi. I wanted to ask about conference facilities at the hotel. Have I come through to the right person?
You have. I'm the customer services manager. My name's Angela. So, how can I help you?
Well, I'm calling from Barrett and Stanson's. We're a medical company based in Perth.
Oh, yes?
And we're organising a conference for our clients to be held in Sydney. It'll be held over 2 days, and we're expecting about 50 or 60 people.
When were you thinking of having it?
Sometime early next year, like the end of January. It'd have to be a weekend.
Let me see. Our conference facilities are already booked for the weekend beginning January the 28th. We could do the first weekend in February.
How about January the 21st?
I'm afraid that's booked too.
Well, let's go for the February date then.
So that's the weekend beginning the 4th.
Okay. Now, can you tell me a bit about what conference facilities you have?
Sure. So for talks and presentations, we have the Tesla room.
Sorry?
Tesla, that's spelled Tesla. It holds up to 100 people and it's fully equipped with a projector and so on.
How about a microphone?
Yes, that'll be all set up ready for you. And there'll be one that members of the audience can use too, for questions if necessary.
Fine. And we'll also need some sort of open area where people can sit and have a cup of coffee. And we'd like to have an exhibition of our products and services there as well. So that'll need to be quite a big space.
That's fine. There's a central atrium with all those facilities, and you can come before the conference starts if you want to set everything up.
Great. And I presume there's Wi-Fi?
Oh, yes. That's free and available throughout the hotel.
Okay.
Would you also like us to provide a buffet lunch? We can do a 2-course meal with a number of different options.
What sort of price are we looking at for that?
Well, I can send you a copy of the standard menu. That's $45 per person. Or you can have the special for $25 more.
I think the standard should be okay, but yes, send me the menu.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
Now, we're also going to need accommodation on the Saturday night for some of the participants. I'm not sure how many, but probably about 25. So what do you charge for a room?
Well, for conference attendees, we have a 25% reduction. So we can offer you rooms at $135. Normally, a standard room's $180.
And does that include breakfast?
Sure. And of course, guests can also make use of all the other facilities at the hotel. So we've got a spa where you can get massages and facials and so on. And there's a pool up on the roof for the use of guests.
Oh, great. Now, what about transport links? The hotel's downtown, isn't it?
Yes, it's about 12 kilometres from the airport, but there's a complimentary shuttle bus for guests, and it's only about 10 minutes walk from the central railway station.
Okay. Now, I don't know Sydney very well. Can you just give me an idea of the location of the hotel?
Well, it's downtown on Wilby Street. That's quite a small street, and it's not very far from the sea. And of course, if the conference attendees want to go out on their Saturday evening, there's a huge choice of places to eat. Then, if they want to make a night of it, they can go on to one of the clubs in the area. There are a great many to choose from.
Okay. So if we go ahead with this, can you give me some information about how much we're looking at?
हाँ भाई, score please. 9, 10, जबरदस्त. See, उसने कहा था it's not quite far. इसका मतलब है it's quite near. It's चले अपना बेटा वो नोट करें अपना 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 कल आपको रीडिंग का मैंने एक वो दिया हुआ था असाइनमेंट, वो अभी मुकम्मल नहीं हुआ आपका। उस रीडिंग के असाइनमेंट को मुकम्मल करना है आपको। मैंने आपको रीडिंग और लिसनिंग के ऊपर 2 सेशन और बहुत अच्छे भेजूंगा, उसको लाजमी सुनिएगा। और आज का जो असाइनमेंट लिसनिंग के हवाले से है वो बुक 11 और 12 पूरी स्टॉल लगा के पी जाइएगा। कल हम 13 को फॉलो करेंगे, 14 का पार्ट 4 टेस्ट 4 से उठाएंगे और 13 को फॉलो करेंगे, ठीक है। और 11 और 12 आपका असाइनमेंट। कल 8 टेस्ट में मैं एक आपसे ये भी शेयर कर रहा हूँ, आप इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिएगा और ऐसा रजिस्टर में बना लीजिएगा। कंप्यूटर जी जल्दी से हमारे पास शेयर कीजिएगा। एक मैं आपसे चीज शेयर कर रहा हूँ, देखिएगा। आपको मैंने कहा था मैं शेयर करूंगा, शायद मैं भूल गया। चेक लिस्ट, चेक 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 लिस्ट, ये आ गई आपकी स्क्रीन पर, आ गई। प्रीव्यू चेक कीजिएगा, आ गया। इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेते। ये आपको इस तरह की अपने पास एक चेकलिस्ट बना लें कि मैंने बुक 11 सेक्शन 1 सॉल्व किया, टेस्ट 1 में कितने मार्क्स आए, टेस्ट 2 में कितने मार्क्स आए, टेस्ट 3 टेस्ट 4। तो आज आप लोगों ने बुक कौन सेक्शन में भी चल रहा है, आपने आज बुक 14 को आपने किया, अपने स्कोर अपने पास लिख लीजिएगा 10 9 10। आज टेस्ट, कल टेस्ट 4 करेंगे। बुक 11 और 12 आप करेंगे। मुझे ये चेक लिस्ट चाहिए, मुझे ये चेकलिस्ट चाहिए सैटरडे को। मैं देखूंगा, मैं पूछूंगा, मुझे चेकलिस्ट भेजिए 11 to 17, ऐसे ही ड्रॉ कीजिएगा और उसको तस्वीर लीजिएगा, क्रॉप करके भेजिएगा। सर मैंने 11 to 17 मुकम्मल कर लिए, 28 टेस्ट। सर पे डंडा ना रखो ना, तुम लोग सुनते नहीं हो, इसलिए मैंने कहा है कि भाई मैंने ये चेक करना है, मुझे पता चलेगा हाँ भाई बच्चा सुन रहा है। और मुझे स्कोर चेक करना है, फिर मैं देखूंगा और मैं आपको गाइड करूंगा कि बेटा आप कहाँ पर गलती कर रहे हैं। इसका स्कोर मुझे सब पता है, सबका यही आ रहा होगा 9 8 7। लेकिन बेटा अगर कोई 5 से नीचे जा रहा है और वो बता नहीं रहा, शर्मा रहा है, तो वो भी मुझसे शेयर करे, सर मैं 5 से नीचे जा रही हूँ, शर्मा रही हूँ, स्कोर लिख नहीं पा रही हूँ। कहना तो है पर कैसे कहूँ, कहने से डरती हूँ। बेटा ये डर के आगे जीत है, आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगी तो आपका सब कुछ, आपका भला हो जाएगा, ठीक है ना। अभी सर के पास एक ऐसा और भी मटेरियल है जिससे सर ने तैयारी अभी करानी है, वो आने वाला है, वो भी उस पर काम करने का टाइम नहीं मिल रहा, लेकिन जिस दिन इंट्रोड्यूस करा दिया आग लगा देंगे हम इंशाल्लाह, ठीक है ना। चले, अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा। इंशाल्लाह सी यू टुमारो इन द लाइव सेशन, और कल मिलते हैं आपसे। जूम मीटिंग में आते हैं 9 से कम, वरना 9 होते हैं असाइनमेंट, 9 होते हैं। अच्छा, ओनली पार्ट 4 बुक 11 to 12। आपको पार्ट 4 नहीं करना, आपको पार्ट 1 करना है, आपको पार्ट 1 करना है। और आपको जो है वो सेक्शन 1 को फॉलो करना है। सेक्शन 1 इज इक्वल टू पार्ट 1। पहले सेक्शन 1 बोला जाता था, अब इसका अपडेटेड नाम है पार्ट 1। तो बुक 16 बुक 11 12 को आप फॉलो कर ले, 16 और 17 कल कर लीजिएगा। इस सैटरडे तक तमाम स्टूडेंट्स, मैं रीडिंग का असाइनमेंट फिर शेयर कर दूंगा जो मैंने कल भेजा था, आप उसको फॉलो करें, भी आपने उसको मुकम्मल नहीं किया। रीडिंग के अंदर ऑपरेशन करना है आपको, मैं आपको उसकी 3 वर्कशॉप्स भेज रहा हूँ, बहुत डिटेल्ड में मैंने बताया, बहुत डिटेल्ड में। जब सुपर डुपर 3 लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड किए थे वो आप सुने, आपको रीडिंग के अंदर जो कंफ्यूजन है वो सारी दूर हो जाए। ठीक है बेटा, अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा। इंशाल्लाह सी यू टुमारो लाइव सेशन, सेम आईडी सेम पासवर्ड। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।